Right, so at the beginning of any crochet project, we make a chain. And the first thing we do to do that is to create a slip knot. So I've got the end of the yarn in my hands here. I'm just going to take a little length of it. It's always very good to make sure you have a longish tail on the end for sewing in later. So I'm going to take the end of the yarn and I'm going to just, so the end is pointing away from me and the ball is that way. I'm going to take the yarn and just work it round in a circle on my fingers like that. And then, you see I've got a little loop. I'm going to bring this tail end, just pull it through the loop like that. And then when I pull, it tightens into a slip knot. And I'll just do it again. I'll just pull it undone, do it again. So we take the yarn over our hands like that, wind it into a circle over your fingers. And then with the end that's hanging, just pull that through the loop to tighten. And that is a slip knot. So then the next thing we do is we pop the hook into the slip knot and just pull it to tighten. Now the reason I'm using such a giant yarn and a big hook is so that you can really see the stitches clearly. You can do this with any yarn and any hook size as long as it's the hook size that matches the weight of the yarn. So you don't have to have a great big yarn, it's just quite good for the purposes of video. There are lots of different ways to hold your hooks. Some people hold their hooks like this, some people hold their hooks like this. It really doesn't matter which way you hold it. And the yarn, again, some people have the tension pulled tightly over to one side. I tend to work with my hook and my yarn held in my left hand and the hook in my right hand. Again, loads of different ways to do this. Really don't worry, you do whatever is comfortable for your hands. So what I'm going to do to create the chains, which is the bottom of the crochet, is I'm going to hold on to the tail of the yarn in my right hand over here, with a hook on my right hand, and then with this, the yarn attached to the ball, that's what we call the working yarn, we bring that yarn over the hook from the back. So usually whenever you have a sort of a yarn, everything comes from the back of the hook. Bring it over the hook from the back, and then we're going to pull this piece of yarn through this loop. Now it helps sometimes just to hold the bottom of the stitch there, and then just use your hook to pull that through, and that's created one chain. So I'm going to bring the yarn around the hook, hold the bottom of the loop, and you see when you do this you can manoeuvre the hook around a little bit and make the most of this little hook on the end. Pull it through. So I go around the hook and then hold the bottom and pull it through the loop. Yarn around the hook and pull it through the loop. And look what's happening. I'm getting this lovely little chain coming. Let's do a little bit more. Yarn around, hold the bottom and just pull it through. Yarn around the hook and pull it through. Now, I think I was taught, I've always believed the yarn needs to come around the back of the hook. So we go yarn around the back and pull it through. Yarn around and pull it through. Yarn around and pull it through. And this is what you end up with which is the chain. And as we sort of carry on, you'll see that on the top of the chain, you have a little V, which these are the beginnings of the stitches. And on the back of the chain, there are these little bumps all the way along. Now some people, well, there are some stitches where you work into the back of the chain, and there are some stitches where you might be asked to work into the front loop or the back loop of a chain. But for the most part, I tend to work through the chain, which I'll show you in a minute, through that bottom section. But there are different instructions for different bits of patterns, but that is how you create the chain. So let's just have another go. Keep the chain on the right, got your working yarn on the left, bring it around the hook from the back and then pull it through, around and through the loop, around and through. And it's a good idea if you're to keep account of how many chains you're making. When you're making something, it might say to you, create, I don't know, 10 chains and 2 for turning. So you need 12 chains in total. That's what a pattern might say. But you can count the chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a chain on its own there. So you can see how to count them as you're going along. If you have to create a load of chains, a good thing to do is to put a stitch marker maybe every 10 chains so you know how many you've done, so that you don't have to go back to the beginning and count from the beginning every time you lose count, which is what I do. So that is how we make a chain. One last look. Yarn over, pull it through the loop. Yarn over, pull it through the loop. Yarn over, pull it through the loop. And that is how we create a chain. So the next stitch that we're going to look at is called a single crochet in US terminology and a double crochet in UK terminology.